Yo, hello guys, my name is MetroJohnny, and today we're back on the show 23 franchise mode. I am your host here and the general manager of the Cincinnati Reds. And this is the playoff bracket for year number 2. So, in this episode today, we will be recapping the regular season, talking about the postseason here, and looking at the awards around the league. Also taking a look at some subscribers. So this is going to be a video focused on, what's happened in year number 2. So we can kind of recap it. And then we get the postseason underway, which I am really excited for. So let's start off the episode by talking about the playoff bracket, since we're right here on the screen. And really just comparing it to last year's bracket. So let's focus on the AL side first. The first and second seed, the two teams that got a bye last year, was the New York Yankees finishing in first in the AL, and then Texas finishing second. Now we all know the New York Yankees went on to win the World Series, so a number 1 seed won it. And if history does repeat itself, it will be the LA Angels. But it is a completely different bracket, as you have, I'm sure, noticed the New York Yankees, the champions, are no longer the champions anymore because they didn't even punch a playoff ticket, which is pretty surprising. So things I noticed right off the rip: the Chicago White Sox punched their ticket again. Last year they were a 3rd seed. This year they fall down. They're a 6th seed, but they still punched their ticket nonetheless. The LA Angels were a 5th seed last year, and they won their wild card matchup, but then ultimately lost to the New York Yankees. Without the Yankees here, they move up to that 1 seed spot and get a bye. And of course, Texas, they ended up losing against the Yankees in the ALCS 4-1 in that series, but they're back. But a 5th seed this year. And then Houston, who also, again, punched their ticket last year as the 6th seed. So a lot of teams, really. The only team that wasn't here last year is Tampa Bay at that 3rd seed. So interesting there. Very similar from last year. So most teams kind of keeping that, but it is different for sure. Moving over to the NLCS, or the NL. We see Philly, who we all know took a round 1 exit last year in the wild card. They move up to the number 1 seed for the NL, and then of course your boy gets a bye. The Cincinnati Reds, general manager builds a nice squad, gets that 2nd seed, and gets a bye. So we're sitting pretty here in Cincinnati, but, just waiting. And unfortunately, we're either going to be playing the Mets or the San Diego Padres, which I would rather play I'd probably rather play San Diego. Anyways, San Diego made the playoffs last year as well, where they were in the wild card, so same little spot here. And they ended up winning, but then eliminating the New York Mets in the 2nd round, going all the way to the 3rd round to lose to the Dodgers in a 4-3 series. So, the San Diego Padres is a team I really want to follow and see, can they get there. They were so close to getting to the World Series last year, lost to the Dodgers. They're playing a team, though, that they eliminated last year. And so the New York Mets, there's a little bit of a story there. Can the Mets get their revenge on the Padres? It will be an interesting, storyline, and see what happens. So then we focus up here to Atlanta and the Dodgers. All right, Atlanta Braves swept Philly, knocked them out completely, moved on to the 2nd round last year. After beating Philly in the wild card, they moved on to face the Dodgers in the NLDS, and then the Dodgers eliminated them. So we have another revenge match. Can Atlanta get their revenge, or can the Dodgers eliminate Atlanta for a second year in a row. And we all know what happened for the Dodgers. They went on to go all the way to the World Series just to fall short by one game. It was an amazing World Series. And they are here. They're not as good as they once were last year, but they punched their ticket, unlike the Yankees. So can the Dodgers do it? So that's going to wrap up the World Series bracket, the playoff bracket, should I say. You guys let me know. Now, I'm not going to just end it like that. Let's talk about Cincinnati, right? I think on the NL side, that's the biggest change. You have a team that was at the bottom 3, now a second seed and with a bye. How serious can we take Cincinnati? Well, I think they really are one of the teams that's the hardest to put your money on, the hardest to predict. We really don't know what we're going to get with them. And it's a wild card for sure for Cincinnati. Like, we don't really know what to expect. As far as the roster goes, we know we have a window, a very little window I put together as the general manager, and it's a 2-year window. I think, personally, I think we have a 2-year window with just the age that we have here, but it could stretch to a 3-year, but a lot of the guys that are big impact on this team are guys like Jock Peterson, who are 31, Adam Duvall, who isn't even MLB. He really has struggled a lot this year, but it's a team for sure that I think has a shorter window. Probably not going to be seeing, these guys for too long. Like, it's not going to be a dynasty, at least not right now. I don't know what we'll get from Cincinnati. I guess we're going to have to find out. But first, we don't even know who we're going to be playing against. So, without further ado, let's move over to the awards around the league, because this will kind of also just quickly show us who dominated the most in the stats anyways. And so the National League MVP is Shohei Ohtani, who switched teams. He left LA for San Francisco. And he hit 47 home runs now. He's not in the playoffs. So as far as that goes, that did not work out for him. That's interesting. I wonder if he's regretting it right now, I don't know. But there you go. And for the American League, it is Mike Trout, his former teammate, who is in the playoffs, who does have a number 1 seed spot, who hit 54 home runs. Wow. Is that a career high for Mike Trout at the age of 32? Yes, it is. Maybe I should reevaluate as a GM on, players' regression, because I would figure he'd be regressing, but he's only getting better at the age of 32. Maybe this isn't like football where where when they hit their 30s, it's time to start thinking about, what's next. I don't know. The CY Young, there you go. Batting title goes to Lewis there, okay. And Donovan. Reliever of the year, Emmanuel Claus and AJ Minter. 57 saves. Rookie of the year, Jace Jung and Jacob Berry. All right. Very interesting here. The Hank Aaron Award, obviously, this was gonna be Mike Trout here, 54. And then Manny Machado. This is right here is why I don't want to face San Diego, because they I actually think I would rather face the Mets, dude, because we already kind of struggle giving up home runs, and yeah, they're really good at hitting home runs, so that's just doomed to be a disaster there. The Gold Glove for pitcher? I didn't even know pitchers got. Okay, anyways, catcher there you go. Gold Glove for first base. Now, my player won the second base Gold Glove last year. Can I win it 2 years in a row? Yes, I can. Let's freaking go, man. Look at that. Johnny Metro back-to-back 2 years. Heck yeah. I love it. Third base, DJ Bryant for the NL. For shortstop, David Fletcher wins back-to-back years. Congratulations to him, man. The Angels are looking really good. Dansby Swanson. He has won it 3 years in a row and counting. And 2 with the Cubs, 1 was with Atlanta. So interesting there. Left field, Daniel Zimmer. Congratulations. This is a subscriber winning the Gold Glove for left fielder. So we're finally starting to see some. Oh my God, dude. He has zoomed up in overall. What happened? Holy shoot. I didn't know they could progress this fast. 7+ all over. Wow. This guy is a beast. 27 years old, Daniel Zimmer. Let's see what he did this year. 23 homers. Oh, man. Wow. His batting average went down, actually. But overall, I mean, he's stolen 12 bases. Everything else seems to be a little better, right? I mean, he doubled up on his home run, so yeah. Okay, Daniel Zimmer, I see you. Zim, I see you. Man. Okay. And it looks like he could be off a contract soon. I might snag this guy up. Either way, Daniel Zimmer gets his first award. That's the first ever subscriber, I think, to win an award, if I can remember correctly. Either way, it's really cool seeing, you know, because, guys, by the way, if you did have submit a player, you're not going to be starting day one. That's just not realistic. And I do like realism in my universes at least a little bit. I'm not going to. This is baseball. It takes time. And Daniel Zimmer, man, in year 2, right off the rip. Heck yeah. That's awesome. But, you know, he was patient. He was quiet. We haven't heard about this player at all, really, up until this point. Wins a Gold Glove. You know, Zimmer has been, you know, now maybe he will start getting a little bit of attention after winning his first award. We'll see. Taylor gets 1. Earl Glover, another subscriber, is winning the center fielder Gold Glove there. And take a look at his stats, and he's actually going down in overall. 24. He's still got some time. Earl Glover, though. Let's see what he did. He has improved on the bat. You know, still not, you know, I'm sure where he wants to be. 260 is where he batted. You know, Boston is a struggling team. 2 years now without postseason appearances. And, you know, we'll have to see how that affects him. Oh, 9 home runs, only 8 this year. That's not, you know, so he's not a big hitter, really. Yeah, so we'll have to see. These are decent numbers. But, yeah, I can understand why he's kind of going down in overall. Either way, though, he wins an award, so congratulations there, man. Right fielder, there you have it. Garcia and Suzuki. 4 Silver Slugger, DH. There you go. Catchers. Pete Alonso wins it back-to-back for first base. Second base, there you have it. Third base. Shortstop, outfield, a lot of this, man. Oh, we got a Cincinnati guy up there. Let's go, Jock Peterson, a guy I picked up in free agency as a GM. That's a move I made, and look at that, it pays off big time for us. So he wins an award. He's been a very big part of our team. He's on a 2-year contract, so we'll see what happens. So we go here, postseason MVPs, obviously we don't know. So there you go. Those are the awards. Those are the awards. Alrighty, so now let's take a look at our Cincinnati Reds. Alright. We're going into the playoffs. How serious are we really? Well, any team that can go win, you know, 95 games and get a second seed, you got to take him seriously, right? But I mean, Tyler Stevenson, a guy I really wanted to make sure everyone knew at the beginning of the series that I wanted to build around this guy. I did want to keep him here in Cincinnati. He's a big favorite for Cincinnati fans. And we did that by offering him a big contract. 6.8 per year up until 2025, or excuse me, 2027. We are building around this guy, and I want him to be the leader, and I want him to show that he's a leader, and that's exactly what he has done. His first year was a very solid year. I was very happy with him. 2.82, 16 home runs, and now he's just improved even more. 187 hits from 146 to 16 home runs to 21, and getting a 302 batting average. That's insanely good. And you compare it to, I'd say it's better than his 2022 because he only played 50 games. He only had 166 at bats. You're talking about a guy who played all 162 damn games. He didn't miss a dang game this year. That's actually blowing my mind, that stat line. Holy shit. Oh my goodness, Tyler Stevenson he's a machine. He is not human. Oh my goodness. And he had 619 at bats, and he was able to average a 302. That's just fucking insane. The Georgia boy, holy crap, getting it done. That's actually where I'm from. I love Tyler Stevenson, and I'm glad that we signed him to a big contract. So he's going to be on fire going into the playoffs, and that's a guy we really need to be. And this is amazing that he's done that. Now we know we brought in Matt Chapman. Well, how did that pickup do for us? I think it did pretty damn well, considering he played the second most games for us. He also had the second highest batting average for us. He's also stolen the most bases for us. He's had it looks like the second highest home runs for us. I mean, must I go on? Huge pickup, and it has really paid off. Now, Jonathan India, a guy that was really on my mind to trade at the beginning of this year. Now I just don't even know, because he got hurt, and I was thinking I wanted to get something for him while we still could. And then he puts on a year where he played for 141 games. He stayed healthy. And he batted a 2.73, right? And he just looked really good. He had 13 homers. He played solid baseball. And we don't have to, hurry up the decision on whether we keep him or not, because we do have him on a decent little contract. So I think he will be staying here for a little while longer. I am proud of the year he had. For Jock Peterson, I think this guy, though he's cold right now, I'm hoping he can get that off by the time we start the playoffs, because he's been one of the biggest parts of our offense because of his home run stat line. I mean, 36 homers. This guy, he batted to 260, which was kind of a little disappointing. One of the biggest reasons why I had picked him up was for his home run stat, and he paid off big for that. So I don't really care about the average too much. I want him to be, if I sign a guy for free agency for a reason, I want them to meet that reason. And I did like the 291 that he batted, but we've seen in his history that he can drop down lower than that. And so I wasn't necessarily expecting much here, just somewhere in the 200s, right? 0.200, should I say? You know what I mean. But what I really signed him for was the home runs. I wanted 30 plus home runs from this guy. I wanted him to be our power hitter, and that's exactly what he did. Matter of fact, he tied his career high from 2019 when he played with the Dodgers for us. And I'm so thankful we got him. We have him for next year as well, if he doesn't regress too much, which he has had. At least right now he's having some negative impacts. I'm hoping that's just because he's on a cold streak. But nonetheless, the pickup we made, for the reason we made it, worked out perfect. Then we come to Reggie Richards, the guy I picked up in free agency at the beginning of the first season, and he's my favorite player on the team, man. I'm not gonna lie. 85 overall, 276. He's 2 years with us, only with us. He's only 19 years old. I don't even think he's a real person, like in real life, but maybe I'm wrong. but he he dropped off a little bit with his average, dropped off a little bit with home runs, with RBIs, things like that. So, but when you're looking at this, he has played very consistent. He had less at bats this year because he played less games. So that's really, I think if he played the same amount of games, his home runs could definitely be higher than they were. Overall, his average is still very solid. I think this guy is going to be a extreme part of our success in the postseason. So yeah, we'll see. There's TJ. Don't even really want to talk about him too much. He just played kind of bad. Didn't really do much. Jackson Holiday, a guy we had to force to make that step up because of injury, and he definitely struggled. He's growing though. We're not hindering his growth. He's having enough success to continue to grow, but definitely a year where he can improve. But not bad for his first year, batting a 2.33, 8 home runs. You can tell he is going to be something special, and we have him for very cheap up until 26. So just more growth from this guy, and he's going to be one of our top players on the roster in like 2 years. So, I'm not expecting him to be the leader right now, but he's going to be for sure. Then there's Harrison Bader, or excuse me, it's Bader. Yep, that's it. A guy I brought in here for his fielding, his arm, his vision was another reason, and just a guy to get on. He had a pretty good just decent overall and fielding and just decent average. And he performed exactly how I thought he would this year, which is good. When you like I said, when you bring somebody on, and he even bonused us with more home runs than last year, with less at bats. So he played better in Cincinnati than he did with the New York Yankees. He won himself a ring with the Yankees. He comes to Cincinnati and he hasn't lost that hunger. Even after winning a World Series, he's back in the playoffs. His old team can't say that, and I think he could go. He's going to be a very big part of the postseason. I hope so. Anyways, so we're going to find out. Ellie De La Cruz, of course, sucked. He took a season-ending injury, only getting to play 44 games, but not much there. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. That is our team. For pitching, I'm a little worried for the home runs that we allow. I think that's a stat. Home runs allowed. Nick Lodolo gave up 27. Luis Severino 20. You got Casey Mize 26. Hunter. Oh my God, this guy. It's like a love and hate relationship I have with this guy. He's very good, but very bad at the same time. It's so hard to describe. I don't really know. But yeah, he gave up he gives up a lot of home runs, and he does walk a lot. But 29 home runs allowed, that's insane. But this is our pitching, I feel like our pitching is enough. Like if I'm not being biased at all, I think we have a team. I think we have a team here that could make it to the World Series and win it. Why not? I think the biggest threat. Let's say we do get to the World Series, and let's say I think the LA Angels is the best. Look at their roster. They solely rely on Mike Trout to dominate the way he dominates, but they do not have depth. I mean, look at their pin. If you compared that to ours, we're deeper for sure. I seriously think we have Cincinnati fans. Listen to me. I think Be hyped. I think we have a true shot here. We don't have no 90 overall 1-star that we lean on, but we have depth here. And we have veterans though, you know, to get this job done. I think we can get this done, man. I really do think we have a shot. I'm not just saying that. I really do think we have a shot here. So that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. It was one hell of a year for the standings, for all the playoff teams. It does look like this, by the way. The Reds won their division in the Central with 95 wins. It was enough. 9 games over the Brewers. We finally were able to pull away from them. In the East, it was a very close race with the Phillies getting it, the Braves, and the Mets all 90 plus, 98, 98. I mean, man. And then for the West, the Padres and Dodgers, a very close race, just 1 game difference. And for the wild card, you can see it here. Worst teams, the Nationals, Rockies, Diamondbacks are still down there. All these teams I was thinking about possibly managing, they're still doing bad in year 2. The Red Sox still around a 500 team, a little under. So I'm wondering when they'll ever be back again. The Yankees finished positive. They have a winning season, but just not enough to get them to the playoffs, as you know, it was a tough division this year. Blue Jays and the Rays all did better, just barely. It was very close, but they don't make the playoffs. For the Central, the Guardians, White Sox, you can see it there. And then the Angels, the only 300 win team in the league, and they get it just barely with 100 wins, 62 losses. Now listen, guys, the Dodgers last year won 121 games last year. 121 and 41 was their record, and they lost. So that's got to sting for sure. But the Angels look to be the best in the league right now with 100 wins and 62 losses. The Astros also clinched a playoff spot at 93 and 69, and the Rangers at 90 and 72. For the worst, of course, it's Oakland, still there at the bottom. The Tigers are down there, and the Red Sox. I don't think Oakland Athletics will ever finish above 500 in this series. Ever. I really don't. They are so bad. But that is going to do it for the year number 2 recap / pre-postseason. I hope you guys will join me for year 2's postseason. I'm so excited to get these games underway. I do, believe we'll be tuning in to the New York Mets San Diego Padres game. I want to see that revenge game. We may take a look at the Dodgers in Atlanta here and there. And I'm just overall very excited. If you guys are as well, I hope you'll join me. And if you like this video, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this kind of content. And overall, have a blessed day, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.